So I was reading Matthew 13 last night, and I read something that hadn't stuck out to me before, and I thought it was pretty interesting. I had never read it with this thought in mind, with this kind of understanding. It is the parable of the wheat and the tares. It says, we'll start at verse 24. Another parable he put forth to them, saying, The kingdom of heaven is the man who sowed good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat, and went this way. But when the grain had sprouted and produced crop, then the tares also appeared. So the servants of the owner came and said to them, Sir, did you not sow good seed in your field? Then how did it have tares? He said to them, An enemy has done this. The servants said to him, Do you want us to go and gather them up? But he said, No, lest while you gather up the tares, you also uproot the wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest. And at the time of harvest, I will say to the reapers, First gather together the tares and bind them in the bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn. So if you go now, you go here to even 34. All these things Jesus spoke to the multitude in parables, and without a parable he did not speak to them, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by the prophet, saying, I will open my mouth in parables, and I will utter things kept secret from the foundation of the world. Then you go to 36, talks about Jesus' explanation of the parable of the wheat and the tares. It says, Then Jesus sent the multitude away and went into the house, and his disciples came to him, saying, Explain to us the parable of the tares of the field. He answered and said to them, He who sows the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world, and the good seeds are the sons of the kingdom, but the tares are the sons of the wicked one, which would be the devil. The enemy who sowed them is the devil. The harvest is the end of this age, and the reapers are the angels. Let me go ahead and move this so you can see a little bit better. Therefore, as the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so it will be at the end of this age. So the end of, the Revelation, the end times, all that. The Son of Man will send out his angels, and they will gather of his kingdom all things that offend, and those who practice lawlessness, and will cast them into the furnace of fire. There will be wailing and gnashing of teeth, but the righteous will shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. He who has ears, let him hear. So it's interesting because you think about it, it's talking about the end times. And it actually kind of talks about the beginning to the end in a very simple, condensed form. It talks about how, the wheat, which is the sons of the kingdom, were planted. And obviously the devil did his work and planted those who are of him, the wicked one, which would be people who are not part of God's kingdom. So it talks about how the angels will remove those that offend and who practice lawlessness, those who are not God's children, people who are children of the wicked one. They will be removed and thrown into hell, the lake of fire or hell. It doesn't say that those of his kingdom will be removed and the ones who are wicked will remain, which is what we're always told about, or what people talk about with the rapture. It doesn't talk anything about, Christians being taken up or people of his kingdom being taken up. It talks about the evil ones being taken up and those of his kingdom being left behind to shine. It says right here, it says, Then the righteous will shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. He who has ears to hear, let him hear. So it's interesting how we've been always talking about, I say we, but like lately in culture and Christian culture as far as I can remember, it's always a talk of the rapture. Although Jesus was going to come back and he's going to take, he's going to take the righteous first, and then there'll be the tribulation. Then eventually, he will eradicate all evil. But if you look here, it doesn't talk about those of his kingdom being taken up. It talks about them staying and the wicked ones being taken up. So I don't know. I thought that was interesting. and I thought I'd share.